Hey everyone, and welcome back to Zero Escape 999, where last time we escaped what appeared to be a prison cell block here at the lowest level of this ship. And now we continue through what remains beyond door 2 to see if we can find a way out of here. They passed through the open door and headed to the next room. Junpei jogged down the short staircase and looked around. Well, this room looks awful. What the hell is this place? The words had sprung unbidden to his lips, but it was clear why. Junpei shivered. Lotus and Seven reached the bottom of the stairs and stopped short, terrified. This room is really creepy. I think we ought to get the hell out of here now. He jogged up the stairs to the opposite side of the room and shook the door on the wall next to the catwalk. It didn't open, and he muttered to himself. Figures. It's locked, isn't it? Yup, don't know why I thought this one would be any different. Junpei looked around the room again. In the center of it was a chair. The back of it was covered with electrodes connected to a nest of wires. Beneath it was a strange glass panel. Junpei wasn't sure what it was for, but it made him uncomfortable. Whatever might have been beyond the glass, Junpei couldn't tell. It was too dark. If we're on the bottom deck of the ship, and that's a glass panel on the bottom? And it's dark beyond. Ooh, God, don't open it. If we open that, we're not gonna have 9 hours. Junpei turned to look at the right side of the room. There was a table covered with a piece of cloth. Parts of the cloth were stained with something that looked suspiciously like blood. On top of the table were a number of metal instruments. Junpei didn't know what they were for, and he had a feeling he didn't want to find out. His mind began to imagine what could have taken place in that dark, cold room. The things he imagined were not pleasant. Junpei shook his head in an attempt to clear it and tried to focus on something else. Anyway, we don't want to stay here any longer than we got to. Let's figure out the puzzle and get the hell out of here. Come on. Absolutely agreed, Seven. I don't want to be here any longer than I have to. So let's start taking a look around. We've got this thing. All the dials are pointing in different directions. Maybe something will happen if we turn them? Huh! Shoot. They're all rusted. I guess turning them doesn't really do anything. Okay, can't turn them at all. Good to know. The needle on the gauge is at 0. It doesn't look like it's gonna move. Okay, so possibly needs power? Red, yellow. You think the colors mean something? No idea. I mean, red looks more dangerous, but other than that... The bottom of this one looks like it's covered in rust. I don't think it'll move at all. These levers have got to turn something on. Of course they would. All they can do is turn something on or off. What's important is what they turn on or off. Seven, I feel like you're continuing to mock Junpei after the incident with the fire, and it's deserved, but please. Don't say the floor is gonna suddenly open up. God, please don't. We got a bunch of buttons here with letters A through F on them. I wonder if they do anything. Down you go. So if I press it again, back you come. I guess these buttons switch something on or off when you push them. Okay, well, we don't really know what to do with those, so I guess leave them alone. There are a ton of knobs here. It doesn't seem like any of them do anything, though. Do you think it's broken? So this panel's probably going to be very important. Next up, I guess, is the chair. A really creepy chair. The manacles make me think it was used to torture people. Don't say that! Oh, God! Well, we can't open these manacles without a key. There's some sort of weird symbol on them. Oh? What kind of symbol? Well, if I got this right, I think it's a sun symbol. Oh, interesting. So perhaps the sun key is around here? there's something on the screen. This device will conduct the experiment. Once the experiment has been completed, the door will unlock. First, adjust the switches to match the blocks in the sample above. Huh. I don't know what this thing is, but we gotta figure out this puzzle. It's right next to a torture chair. Whatever it is, I don't think it's good. Anyway, we just adjust the switches to match the blocks up on top, right? You adjust the switches shown at the four corners of the screen, then press the check button. Junpei, we don't know what this thing does. You can always come back to it later. There are lots of other things you could do. Yeah, we will come back to this in a little bit. Whenever you turn on one of these switches, more blocks show up on the screen. So I think you gotta figure out which buttons you have to press in order to get the screen to match the diagram. Yeah, but it's hard to figure out what button does what. If you want to see how many blocks each switch adds, just turn on one switch. When all of them are off, there aren't any blocks, right? Then you can see how many each switch adds. Oh yeah, I get it. Well, I didn't really need the hint, but thank you. I was taking Lotus's advice to check somewhere else first. We got a wrench. A number of rusty torture tools are lined up here. Oh god, I don't want to imagine how you'd use a wrench. I don't think there's anything else here we need. Yeah, good. I don't want to examine it anymore. There's the exit. Of course, the entrance is locked. It's been like that in every room we've been in. What did you expect? There's no point to trying to go back. Let's just think about going forward, alright? Yeah, that's what my plan was. What is this thing? The cover's bolted on there pretty good. Should be able to get those bolts off of this wrench we just found, though. Sweet, it's open. Now, what's inside? The hole's too small, you can't see in even with the cover off. Well, you can't see in, but I think there's enough room to stick your arm in. Are you sure you want to do that? There could be something dangerous in there. Okay, I admit that scares me a little, but we need to see if there's anything useful in there. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Alright, here we go. Arm into the hole. Hey, I think I can feel something. It's your arm getting chomped off. It's small, cold, and hard. Doesn't feel like there's anything else in here. Alright, let's see what this thing is. Sun key! There we go. Alright. Now then, we can probably work on this. Sun key is for the manacles. We'll work on that later. First, the puzzle. Adjust the switches to match the blocks on top, and each switch will add a certain number. So let's see. I'm gonna make a little chart down here. Oh, okay, this is interesting. So top left is gonna add 1, 4, 2, and 4. Okay, yeah, this is going to be interesting. This one, top right, adds 2, 0, 3, and 1. The diagram that I've made is kind of like a just a big plus sign, kind of imitating how the brain is laid out here. And in each quadrant of the plus sign, I'm writing down, in each quadrant of those quadrants, I'm writing down the number of blocks added by the switch in that corresponding spot. So top left quadrant, top left quadrant of that, I wrote down a 1 because the top left switch adds 1 to the top left quadrant. I hope that's explained well enough. Okay, so bottom left is 3, 1, 2, 3. And bottom right is 4, 5, 2, 2. And we need 8, 10, 6, and 9. Okay, so let's see. If we want to make 8 on the top left, the 4 switches give 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see. 1, 2, and 3, the smallest 3, will give 6. So we need to use the 4 for sure, which means the bottom right switch has to be on, no matter what. Okay, with bottom right switch guaranteed on, in order to be able to satisfy the top left. Let's see. So we need 4 more in the top left. To get 4 more, the remaining numbers we have are 1, 2, and 3. There's only one way to make 4 from those, and that's 1 and 3, so top left, bottom left. And what do you know? Just focusing on the top left solves the puzzle. Well, that was nice and easy. Don't like the beeping? Don't like the beeping. Adjustment is complete. Now proceeding to execution phase. To complete the experiment, data must be collected from subject. Once preparation is finished, place subject in chair. Whoa, I thought we solved the puzzle already. What does it mean by preparation? I don't know. I've got a bad feeling about this. I think this means one of us has got to sit in the chair. Oh no. I nominate Seven. I don't trust him. Well, Seven's never gonna fit in that chair. Crap! It's either you or me, Junpei. Collecting data. I wonder if it's gonna run electricity through the subject. Ugh. There's a human head on screen. Maybe he's gonna zap the brain with a little electricity? This really doesn't sound safe. Anyway, we've still got to prepare. We can talk about this after we figured out what it means by preparation, alright? Well, it wants us to prepare, so maybe we ought to ask it what we need to do. Yep, that's fair. What do we need to do? Error, the disposal tank is closed. Please fill tank with water. What tank? Oh man, don't tell me we gotta do something with a water tank. Well, there's probably something around here to open the tank, or whatever it's asking us to do. It looks like the only controls are in this room. Okay, well, water tank. Do we need to close this back up? There's nothing in here anymore. Okay, the only thing I can think of is this. I can see some oil or something down there at the base of the lever. Yeah, it feels like it's got some movement to it. I should be able to pull this one. All right, let's pull the lever. And what does that do? Oh, is that water? What the hell? What's going on? Will you calm down? It's just water going somewhere. It sounds like it's underneath us. That means the floor. Oh! Junpei, look! Oh, damn! I can see through the glass now. I don't know if I want to see through the glass. EDBF. That's a dead shark! Why is that written on a dead shark? There are a couple letters in the color of blood written on the shark's belly. It's dead. Looks like the letters are E, D, B, and F. Whatever these are for has to be in this room somewhere. Okay, so that's probably gonna be the lettered buttons here. E, no, E, D, B, F, in order. I don't know if it needs to be in order. What? There's a strange noise coming from the chair. It looks like it's been turned on. I guess the puzzle here with that power had to be sent in a specific way. Okay, anything else we need to do, machine, or are we good? Error, the restraining device is locked but empty. The subject has not been properly placed. Unlock the restraining device and reseat subject. Well, the restraining device has to be the chair. Well then, I guess we just need to unlock the chair. Who's gonna do it though? The sun key should fit into the keyhole on these manacles. Alright, open you go, and who are we sacrificing? Alright, sun key, in you go. And yes! Great, they're open. I don't think we're gonna need the sun key again in here though. Just seems unlikely. Alright, sun key, you've done your job. Into my pocket with you. Yeah, let's hold on to that for later. The restraining device is unlocked. Please see subject and device. The message on the screen was disturbingly detached. Well, like we thought, it's not gonna work unless someone sits in it. How ironic that this would be the situation in which this slim, beautiful body is useful. Lotus, are you sure? I can sit in it and you can solve. Junpei's right. If we screw it up. Seven couldn't bring himself to finish the thought. His eyes fell to the floor. Junpei followed them. Beneath them was the dead shark floating underneath the glass. Perhaps it had been killed by an electric shock. Ooh, I don't want to think about that. One, the shark doesn't deserve whatever happened to it. Two, oh god, I do not want this glass floor to open. We would all die. I'll be fine. Even if I fall in, the shark is already dead. But no one likes an indecisive man, Junpei. I can still give you advice from the chair too, so, you know. I just don't want to stay in this room any longer than we have to. Go over to that screen and let's get this over with. After her words had made it clear that Lotus would book no argument, she turned to walk toward the chair without hesitation. I respect, but she did not sit down. Despite what she had said, she did indeed feel hesitation. Her legs shook. Look, do you think you could do me one last favor? Don't say last. You're making me nervous. Seriously, Lotus, you're not gonna die. We've got this. Just listen. If something happens to me, I want you to tell my daughters that I love them very much. No, tell them that I will always love them. You have kids. Daughters? You've got kids. Yes, I do. I suppose they're about your age, Junpei. They're twins. I had them when I was young after some things happened. Oh, Lotus. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Their names are Nona and... Wait, Nona? I know that name. Junpei's words shot out before he even realized what he was saying. He remembered the story Seven had told him. Aoi, Light, and Nona. Those were their names. Well, some of them. The kids that were there in the experiment, I mean. What the hell? What's wrong with you? Lotus took a step back from Junpei. Seven looked just as shocked as Junpei. He blinked his eyes rapidly as if he weren't sure if he was completely awake. No way, it couldn't. Lotus, is your last name Kashiwabara? Lotus's eyes went wide. How do you know that? Are you serious? Oh my god, Lotus. What the hell is this? There's no way you're that kid's mom. That kid? Seven, you can phrase that a little better. What do you mean, that kid? Why are you acting like you've met her? Seven's brow furrowed. I have. What? Yeah, I met one of your kids. When? 9 years ago. Where? On this ship. Why were you? It's not a short story. I don't care how long it is. Tell me, please. What happened here? Seven glanced at Junpei and then turned back to Lotus and began to speak. It was the same story Junpei had heard only minutes before, every detail. God, this is so fucked up. Lotus, your kids were kidnapped? So I guess you definitely have a connection to this then. At last, Seven finished. Lotus shook her head. Oh my god. Everything I've been looking for the last 9 years. The person who had all the answers was right here. So Lotus and Seven are now both definitely connected to this. Looking for? Yeah, that's right. 9 years ago, my daughters disappeared. Then 9 days later, they came back. 9. Again with the 9. 9 days. 9 years. They never told me what had happened to them over those 9 days. I took them to the doctor, but I was told they hadn't been hurt in any way. Still, I was sure that they had been through something terrible, so I couldn't bring myself to force them to talk about it. Understandable, but I can understand wanting to know as well. If I did, then I'd force them to relive whatever horrors they'd been through. I didn't have any choice. I had to try and ignore it and move on. A few months passed. Gradually, they started to act like they always had before they disappeared. They smiled and made jokes and did all the silly things kids do. It got harder and harder for me to ask them about what had happened. How could I ask them to remember that? Eventually, I knew there was no way I could do it. But I'm still a mother. I couldn't simply forget that something terrible had happened to my children. Oh, Lotus, I'm so sorry. So I decided I would investigate what had happened on my own. I would find out what had happened during those 9 missing days. What did you find out? Nothing. The police pretended to be concerned, but they didn't do anything. Once the 16 children who'd gone missing came back, things were just swept under the rug. I mean, the kids were back, so... Who knows how much evidence would have been left of what happened to them? Even the media didn't talk about what had happened. I figured someone was probably paying or threatening them to keep their mouths shut. Cradle Pharmaceutical. No, probably something even bigger than that. Cradle Pharmaceutical? Have you heard of them before? No, that's the first time I've ever heard that name. 7, how did you find out that Cradle Pharmaceutical was connected to the kidnappings in the first place? I figured finding out whatever the victims had in common would lead me to the culprit. That's what any good cop does. What did they have in common? Every single one of the kids who had disappeared had gone to this one hospital at some point. The hospital was one of a bunch that were under the control of Cradle Pharmaceutical. After that, it was just about connecting the dots. The hospital. The hospital. For a while, I was trying to get some kind of story out of the kids at the hospital. One of them told a weird story. What was it? Have you heard about the Gonsfeld experiment? Oh, this thing. I guess all these kids had to go through while they're at the hospital. I think it was passed off as some sort of counseling. 7 cleared his throat and proceeded to explain the Gonsfeld experiment. First, subjects Q and A are put into separate rooms, far away from one another. Then, a series of video images are shown to subject Q, who is told to send the images to subject A by thinking about them. Subject A, on the other hand, is put in a large reclining chair and given a blindfold. With their senses cut off, A is asked to guess what images Q is looking at. Oh yes, I've heard of that. It's a famous telepathy experiment, isn't it? Telepathy? Telepathy? Junpei rolled the word over in his mind. That's how the experiment on this ship was supposed to work. The experiment to control people, right? Yeah. I don't know if any of the telepathy stuff really exists, but maybe someone from Cradle Pharmaceutical bought into it. That's a wild thing for a big pharmaceutical company to be putting how much resources did they have to put into this experiment for telepathy? Kidnapping children? Setting up this massive experiment on a boat? What happened? And 7 said a kid died? Lotus grunted. 7 had been thinking hard for the last several minutes and finally spoke. Even if that is the case, I still don't get how that has anything to do with any of this. Well, it's the same ship, 7. You said that. You're connected. Lotus is connected. There is something going on here. For sure. There is connections being formed, and I don't like it. The Nona game? 0, why we were kidnapped? What does any of that have to do with telepathy? I know I brought all this up, but I have no idea. Maybe none of this stuff is connected after all. That would be a wild coincidence. Junpei and June are connected to each other. We don't know how to this, but they're connected. There's connections coming up all over the place. There has to be something going on. Then, in that moment of silence, a cold voice echoed down from the ceiling. No subject has been detected. Unless a subject is detected within 60 seconds, all power will be shut down. Oh god! System recovery is estimated to take 1 hour. No, okay, we gotta do this experiment now. No more talking. If you wish to proceed with the experiment, please see subject in the restraining device. Whoa, that doesn't sound good. Yeah. Okay, I'm going. Oh, no, that's not what we... Just hurry up and get it over with. Junpei, I'm counting on you. Right. Lotus sat down on the chair. Junpei looked at her one last time, then made his way to the monitor. Lotus, please tell me right away if you feel anything weird. You worry too much. Now get on with it and be a man or June's gonna leave you. Wow, okay, we've only been friends, I guess, acquaintances for like 8 hours, 7 hours at this point, and you're already making fun of him. Lotus was putting on the best act she could manage, but her legs were shaking so much that if she hadn't been sitting, she would likely have fallen down. Yeah, can't blame her. Failure was not acceptable. Junpei took one last deep breath and stared at the monitor. Oh, and Lotus, don't worry, we will let your daughters know if anything happens. Okay. Well, we know this is set up. Oh. Oh, crap. Okay, we've got 3 states. So we need 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom. Okay. Sorry, Lotus, this is gonna take me a minute. So let's see, state 1 and 2 for the top and bottom. State 1 gives 1, 2. State 2 gives 1, 1. For the bottom, state 1 gives 1, 0. And state 2 gives 1, 1. Shoot, that's definitely not enough, so we're gonna have to look at the other side. Okay, so let's see. Top, we've got 2, 0. 2, 0. 0, 0, and 0, 1. Oh god, okay, hang on, I'm gonna have to redo my notes. Oh dear, this is a bit of a mess. Okay, so we've got a lot to look at. We have a lot to look at here. So let's see, we've got, we'll say, sorry, give me a moment. Oh my god. Okay, so let's see. This, let's go over to this side. So we've got state 1 on, we'll call this top left. State 1 gives, how am I going to set up these notes? Let's do it like this. I'll do 2 columns, 1 and 2, and then 4 rows, which will be top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. So let's see. State 1 in top left gives 1, 2, 2, 3. And the goal, I need to write down the goal as well, is going to be, I see 7, 6, and 3, 4. Okay. State 2 gives 1, 1, 1, 0. Okay, so that's top left done. I'll write that down as top left. Next will be bottom left. State 1 gives 1, 0, 2, 2. State 2 gives 1, 1. Come on, rotate, there we go. 1, 2. And the order I have it down on my notes, I'm writing down top left, top right, bottom right in every single direction it can be in. Just to be absolutely sure I've got consistency and the notes make sense. Okay, top right, we've got 2, 0 on this side. And then on the other side, 0, 2. State 2 has 2, 0, 2, 1. Okay, one more set. Bottom right. We've got, oh gosh, 0, 0, 2, 1. And then for state 2, we have 1, 1, 0, 1. Okay, so my full notes. In top left, state 1 gives top left 1, bottom left 2, top right 2, bottom right 3. State 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. Oops, sorry, 1, 1, 1, 0, not 4 ones. For bottom left switch, it's 1022 and 1112. For top right, it's 0220 and 2120. Bottom right, it's 2100 and 0111. Okay, and the order is always top left, top right, bottom right. Now let's see, I need to make 3, 4, and 7, and 6. So taking a look at this, if I want to make 3, okay. Oh, this is complicated. If I want to make, maybe we could look at making 6 in the last spot or 7 in the third spot. 6 in the last spot, I could do... The maximum numbers I'm seeing are 3, 2, 0, and 1 for each of the switches in the last spot. 3, 2, 0, 1 makes total of 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 6. And that is what's needed, and that only happens if top left is 1. Bottom left can be 1 or 2, but it can't be 0. And then bottom right is 2. Okay, so I know for sure top left has to be 1. And bottom right has to be 2. And that'll give in this position. Oh, something's not right here. That did not add up how I thought it would. That added 1. Oh, right, because I still haven't set bottom left on it all. And bottom left needs to be either 1 or 2. I guess the simple brute force way would be try all the options with bottom left. Setting that to 2 adds that up well. And almost gets that. So I need 3 and 2. Now I'm turning that off. Okay, so with top left set to 1, bottom right set to 2, that leaves us with, instead of 3, 4, 7, 6, we now have minus out the top left. That's 1, 2, 2, 3. Gives us 2, 2, 5, 3. Minus out the bottom right. Gives us minus 0, 1, 1, 1. Gives us 2, 1, 4, 2. Okay, so I need to make 2, 1, 4, 2 from bottom left and top right. Let's see. If... Ooh, okay, so if... I don't see how that's gonna work. Oh, I really wish I could show my notes on screen so this would make more sense. I'm trying to be as descriptive as I can. Like, okay, I'm correct, right? So top left, we need 3 more. I've done a math wrong here somewhere. Oh, God, that's what I did wrong. I wrote down... It was supposed to be 4, 4 for the top left. Okay, there we go. Now things are making a bit more sense. I need to make 3, 1, 4, 2. I miswrote down that I needed 3 on the top left. I needed 4 on the top left. So it's 4, 4, 7, 6, 7, 6. Yeah, that's what we need in total. So we still need 3, 1, 4, 2. 3, 1, 4, 2. Bottom left has to be onto anything. And that means top right has to be 2, because if top right is 1, it gives 0 in the top left. And if top right is 2, it gives 2 in the top left, and 2 plus 1 on either bottom left or 1 or 2 on bottom left will give the 1 to give us 3. Okay, so top right has to be 2. Now, let's see where we are at. We'll try... You know what? I'm just going to subtract out. I set 2 on top right. Minus 2, 1, 2, 0. 1, 0, 2, 2. We need 1, 0, 2, 2, and that's bottom left set to 1. Okay, that should be good. Oh my god, that was... Whew. The way it's displayed makes it feel a lot harder than it is, and makes it a lot harder than it probably should be, but that's part of the puzzle, I guess. Whoo, hoo, hoo, hoo. Tables! I have so many tables in my notebook now. The experiment has concluded. The door will now unlock. I can hear the door unlocking. Yeah, Junpei, that's what it said. And now I've got a new message. Release subject from restraining device. Lotus, are you alright? Yes, I am. I'm glad nothing bad happened, but I do think my life just got a little shorter. Yeah, can't blame you. Hold on, I'll get you out right away. Shouldn't take long for Seven and me to get her out of here. Let's get out of here now. Being a guinea pig is not for me. Damn straight. And Lotus, if you need support like walking out of here, I do not feel ashamed or anything. You just went through a terrifying circumstance. I don't ever want to see this thing again. Like, we all fully expected that you or all of us were going to die. Okay then, which door was the exit? I think it was this door over here. So then, with that, next time on Zero Escape 999. Let's move on out of this room and further into the ship. Hopefully we have enough time left to get out of here. I'll see everyone next time for that.